there has been controversy. We've had probably this rule in effect probably for the last 10 years, and there's still people that don't really know how to either get around this rule or just play football correctly. Try to hit safety. But there's sometimes where it's getting out of hand where you're calling it for stuff that's just don't apply to it in my opinion. And I'm talking about the targeting rule with the ejections and everything, because there are some times where people will hit head up freaking face mask in the chest, and they'll still get targeting for it. And it just sometimes it just makes me scratch my head. It's like, well, I know you want to have a rule that enacts safety precautions in the league or in college or in football, but you're not letting people tackle the way they were raised and taught to tackle the entire time they've ever played football. What you think about it? For you got anything to say before we get in this video?
Yeah, because I'm on that side now. I'm
You
on that
are.
on that side in officiating. It's a bang bang play. It's a bang bang play, and again, they want to limit concussions and enforce more safety rules. But what we got to come to the realization is that football is a collision sport. It's a violent collision that's happening every second of the play. Every play is a violent collision. Um, Yet it's hard. You got guys, and being a defender, you got guys that are just really just trying to make a play. And in some aspects, some guys are there's a height differential with players. I hope they do. People need to know that. Where a person does not necessarily have to try to lead with the crown of his helmet. Sometimes the crown of their helmet fits right underneath them, the opposing player.
You're
That's
right.
the reality of it. But this is one of those aspects where when it comes to the competition committee, they're always going to talk about it in the off season. Competition committee at all levels, because again, you want to minimize the injuries that come with the game of football. Yet you're putting people in a position where they're scared to make a play. They're scared to tackle because again, you don't know if they're going to get called a penalty called on them and get kicked out of the game and whatnot. And now they hurt their team and so forth. So it's a catch-22.
Well, let's go ahead and pull this video up and let's talk about it. We're going to talk about it as it plays. See at first glance if you think it's a targeting call or not. And right there, I couldn't tell. And we're gonna get into the replays and everything.
There's
We
the
have
replay
several plays.
right
Yeah,
here.
we have several plays. I'm not gonna pause it or anything because they replay it about
Mhm.
17 times. You know what they do for targeting. You got to make sure it's actually targeting. So let's just take a look right here. Looks like he led with the crown. Because
Hey, you know what? Listen, this is one of those. The safety is actually shorter than the receiver, and the receiver. I hate this one because again, it's a bang bang play. It's a good football play in my opinion. I'm a DB. He didn't hit him. The receiver actually saw the DB coming. But he did. He hit him with the crown of his helmet and whatnot. But let's look at this. Look at this right here.
which
Do you
is the rule
exactly?
now. Like he had his crown of his helmet.
The
I mean, it's
rule
the
is
rule.
that's the rule. He hit him. Yes, he did. He led with the crown of his helmet. Is that targeting? Yes, that by rule, that's targeting. That's targeting.
I mean, if he would have had his head up, hit him with the face mask, I could see. If he were to hit him in his leg and led with the crown of his helmet, they still would have called it targeting.
It would have called it because it would have called something. If he hits him right now on his left knee, as that knee is planted, that's his ACL. That's probably his football career. That's why it's a catch-22.
But I mean, I will say I do agree with it. By the rule, I do agree with this. I think it's targeting. You might not agree with it. It's just he led with the crown of his helmet. You just
I
can't.
mean, by rule, that's targeting.
I don't know how much longer this is, but we'll get into the next one. Let's see if anybody has anything to say about this. Oh, Rob said it's interpreted differently in each
In each
conference,
conference, yes,
which
there
is
you go.
right. It's exactly up to any ref's discretion if they want to say, "Hey, I think that was targeting. I'm going to call the flag. We're going to review it," because you can't really tell at a bang bang play, right? Like when we looked at it first
Yeah.
glance, we couldn't really tell. But let's look at this one. Let's see if first glance we think it's targeting. I saw this. I was like, well, Ole Miss is number two. I'm a state guy, but let's just see. If he gets ejected, is it's a nice little treat for me. But I will say,
Ooh,
at first glance, I couldn't tell. I just thought it was a good special teams play. I mean, you can. What do you think? First glance, you think it was?
I thought that's a great special teams play. To be
I
honest with
thought
you,
so too.
a great one. Let me listen.
But bam, right
Ooh,
last second, he led with the crown, and he's up the whole time. The whole time he's up. He's up and up and up. And at the last second, he dives like a shark, like a land shark. He dives like a land shark and hits him. And if he would have stayed up the whole, I think this is exactly what the targeting rule was made to prevent. Something just like this. He was up the whole time, bam, head down right before he went to tackle. And I mean, you can't really get around that because that's almost exactly what this rule was supposed to take away.
that's a good tackle. That's a good special teams play right
I
there.
like it
That is
too, but
a good change of the ball to play right there. You know what I'm saying? Like that is a good play by the gunner. Not wasting no time, just getting over there, same foot, same shoulder. Just again making a tackle, shooting his gun. Oh, you hate that though.
you can tell when he gets up, he puts his hands on his head like,
He knew.
oh,
He
I
know. He
knew
knew.
exactly what I just did because I put my head down. I thought it was a good play at first glance. And let's look at this because I saw this one. I was like, ooh, I don't know. I just don't know. I just need to get your opinion on it. It's another bang bang play. Well, no, never mind. It's just a dive for the ball.
Nah, is it the other play? Is it the other?
No, it's this play. You could see when the receiver got on the ground, he put up his hands like, bro, he just hit me in the head. Call it for targeting. Call it for targeting. It's gonna play it again. And I love watching Penn State's defense. I love watching Penn State's defense. I think they got a good defense. And this is from the past year. I think that Ole Miss one was from a minute ago. I
And
don't think
this is
it
a
was.
target, and what we're looking at, if we're looking at the same thing or what they're calling target, I can't agree with that. I can't. I can't. I'm sorry, I can't.
Because they're gonna say this play is under review for targeting, right?
Oh, I can't. I
Um,
can't agree with it
but they
because
don't ever call anything, yeah, targeting review. Well, let's see, because it's
if the
difficult. I
play's still
just
alive, that's not
look,
targeting. That's not targeting. That's more shoulder than it. He
and
ain't
I think so
more.
too. I think it's more shoulder, but he's going for the ball too.
Yeah,
He
he
doesn't.
has a free will. He has a free. He has an opportunity to go for the ball as well. If that ball hasn't been blown dead, he has a right to go for that ball.
I think so too. That ball is free game. It don't matter if you're on offense, defense, special teams. It don't matter if you a punter or a kicker. If you on the sideline as a coach, that ball is free game. It's anybody's game. You got to go and take it, and that's what he did. He made sure that offensive player was not going to get that ball, and so he kind of, I mean, he hit him, grazed him with the side of his helmet, but I don't think he led by the crown by any means. You look at a couple things when the targeting rule. You look if he led with the crown of the helmet. He launched with both feet. And I don't know if he did either of those, but yet they call it,
That's not the right call.
and
But again, I've
I
said
don't agree with
I've
it either.
said like each conference referees they see it differently and whatnot. And you look at it. This is not a jab at any officials because again, I'm on that side of the field now. You know, me personally, being a former player, we see things a little bit different than certain officials and certain officials that never played the game and whatnot. They can't necessarily differentiate. What those plays. Those are bang bang plays and whatnot. We again, but everybody is so quick to on the offensive side throw their hands up like they want a flag and whatnot. But they again, we play this game and we compete. We compete at the highest level with everything that we have. What I mean? We go out there with broken fingers and broken limbs at times and just to compete and whatnot. And we cannot take that away from the sport. We cannot take that away from. We can't water down competition and put put these safety guidelines. Again, we want to be safe, but we cannot take away from the competitiveness of the sport, and that's what we're doing. We're taking away from the competitiveness from the players that love to compete. I'm a competitive person. Do I want the game to be safe? Yes, that's the reality of it. Yes, we do, because again, those injuries again, they affect you later on in life. But we gotta be able to police it a little bit better, where guys aren't losing money and getting kicked out of games, and people aren't getting hurt. We gotta police it the right way. That's all I'm saying.
And you've seen, and this was interesting for me that I looked at earlier. You've seen stats like quarterback hurries or quarterback pressures rise up because defenders are now scared to hit the quarterback, especially in the NFL, because they think that they're going to get, and I know this isn't targeting, but
Yeah,
that they could target. They're scared to do what they're paid to do
roughing the
because
pass.
they might lose money. And that's the bottom line. Hey, if I go ahead and sack this quarterback, am I about to lose money? Is it about to be a flag that I rough the passer? In football, is just in my mind, it's just not becoming football.
Hmm.
We're straying away from what the sport's meant to be. We're going to be playing flag football, watching that on Sunday. We ain't going to be watching pads anymore.